Alrighty, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another Damo College Football Top 25. And we had some big losers this week, especially the Big 12. Big 12 did not do themselves any favor this week. Um, okay, let's get into it. Also, I forgot to write down the matchups for next week, so towards the end, we'll go look at who everybody's playing. Okay, so Oregon won against Wisconsin 16-13. Not exactly a dominant win, but we'll take it. Oregon and stay at number one. Alrighty, and the upsets begin. Also, I think we've got two losers in the top 10. You get two top 10 losers. That seems to be a pretty consistent thing. Okay, so we've got BYU taking an L. Also, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna set them right here for a second, but I'm having a lot of. I'm not really sure what to do with SMU and BYU anymore. I think I want to pull them down because they're not looking fantastic right now. BYU especially is not looking fantastic. Although the that Kansas team they've been doing solid. So it seems like Kansas is kind of turning their season around, but still a pretty unacceptable loss for BYU. And I think that pretty much kills the Big 12's chances of getting two teams in the playoffs. I kind of feel the same about the ACC. I feel like the best we're gonna do is one team from the ACC. Another thing that happened, the SEC is definitely getting at least like four teams in. Yeah, they're gonna get like four teams in. But anyway, so BYU lost. Indiana was on bye. We're going to go ahead and move them up to 2. We're going to go ahead and move Ohio State up to 3. Ohio State beat Northwestern. Boise State beat San Jose State. Tennessee lost to the Georgia Bulldogs 17-31. Not a good look for Tennessee. We're going to go ahead and slide them down here next to BYU as well. Also, if you're confused that these spots kind of moved around in between this week and last week, I did a little midweek rankings update because I was just looking at some of my rankings and there was just some stuff I had problems with, so we changed that around. So we're going off of the updated, like the week 11.5 rankings. Next up, Notre Dame. Notre Dame beat Virginia 35-28. We're also going to go ahead and slide Notre Dame up. So this is where I get into some problems. I want to put BYU above SMU, but right now SMU would rise up to number 7 and put BYU at number 6. I feel like there's probably 5 teams that can beat BYU. I feel like there's probably like maybe 10 teams that can beat BYU. So I kind of want to slide them down. I've got it as let me see what in my rankings I've got BYU 6, SMU 7, but that feels terrible. I'm not gonna lie, that doesn't sound right. So I think we're gonna switch it up. I know it's going off of wins and best wins, and SMU and BYU still have good wins, but like, do we really think? I don't know. I would still rate SMU above Miami. I would probably put Penn State above. You know what? We're gonna slide Penn State and Texas above SMU. I mean, I really just re-updated the rankings to move Texas down, and now we're gonna slide them back up. But you know what? Fuck it. We're going off the list. We're gonna make some big boy calls. We're gonna put BYU right here. We're gonna put SMU right here. We're gonna slide Miami down to 10. Tennessee is gonna be a big mover. Okay, so other than the total sliding I just did there, Miami, I've got Miami at 8, but we slid them down 2 to move Penn State and Texas above them. I've got Alabama at number 11, Washington State. Okay, so this was also a bad week for Boise. Boise lost a good win. Well, I mean, Washington State's still a good win, but Washington State had really good rankings, so it kind of helped BYU out, or not BYU, Boise State out more. But I don't really think Boise State needs any help if they went out there in. And honestly, right now, I would probably rank them. Like, say we took the 4 highest conference championships right now. The SEC would be one of the 3. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, The SEC would definitely be one of the four. Oregon, one of these Big Ten teams would be one of the four. I think Boise would be my third team, and then the last team would be between the Big 12 or the ACC. I mean, I'm not loving any of the looks we're getting out of any of these teams right now. So, to be honest, I think Boise State should get a bye. And I mean, we'll see if it holds up, but I mean, right now, if they went out, I think they should get a bye over one of these ACC or Big 12 teams. Okay, next up, I've got Army at 12. Washington State's coming down. Tennessee's also coming down. So we're going to move Army up to number 12. Is Army actually going to get in the playoffs? If they beat Notre Dame. If they don't, they're out, though. So keep that in mind. Okay, next we're sliding Ole Miss up to 13. Sorry, I totally am not even reading off what happened. So Notre Dame beat Virginia. SMU beat Boston College 38-28. Miami was on bye. Penn State beat Purdue 49-10. Texas beat Arkansas. I didn't write the score of that game down. It was 20-10. It was 20-10. Alabama beat Mercer 52-7. Army was on bye. Ole Miss was on bye. Damn, the bye teams keep moving up. Great time of the year to be on bye. Next up, we've got Georgia. Georgia at 16 beat Tennessee 31-17. So we're going to move Georgia up here. And we're going to slide Tennessee right behind Georgia. Right behind Georgia. Who else lost? We've actually got a bunch of losers. Let me just go ahead and take out all the losers real quick. And then we'll get to the rankings. South Carolina beat Mizzou 34-30, just like I said in my midweek video. A&M beat New Mexico State 38-3. Louisville lost to Stanford 35-38. Congratulations, Louisville. You're going to leave the top 25. Mizzou lost to South Carolina. Mizzou lost to South Carolina. What was the score? 30-34. Kansas State lost to Arizona State. Bunch of losers. 14-24. Colorado beat Utah 49-24. Clemson beat Pitt 24-20. Pitt lost to Clemson 20-24. And Iowa State beat Cincinnati 34-17. So as far as top 25 teams, we had, 7 losers, counting Tennessee and BYU, and then these 5 teams. So we're going to have a pretty big shakeup in our rankings. I'm not going to lie, there's still not a lot of teams down below us to pick up. So especially after this week, we had a bunch of losers in 26 through 40 for me. ULL lost to South Alabama. LSU lost to Florida. Arizona State won. Illinois won. Illinois beat Michigan State 38-16. Arizona State beat Kansas State, of course. Navy lost to Tulane. Memphis won against UAB. Vanderbilt was on bye. Nebraska lost. Arkansas lost. Boston College lost. Syracuse won against Cal. UNLV won against San Diego State. Tulane beat Navy. Tulane's actually probably the biggest riser in this week. Georgia Tech 6-4 was on bye, and Duke was also on bye. So let's go take a look at how that actually affected the rankings. So we've got Army at 12. Winner of the Army Notre Dame game is going to the playoffs. The loser is not. So we've got Ole Miss right outside. Georgia at number 14. Tennessee will be right here at 15. We will keep South Carolina here at 16. Didn't really move up a whole lot. Texas A&M will be right there at 17. We're going to move Colorado. Colorado is going to move up to 18. And what a turnaround for Colorado. They might be going to the playoffs. All they got to do is win out and beat BYU, and they will be in. Maybe even with a bye. I mean, that's pretty crazy for Colorado. Congrats to Deion Sanders, Shedeur, Travis Hunter, and everybody else on the team. We're going to move Clemson right behind Colorado. Iowa State will finish out the top 20. And then these next 5 teams, we'll see how it goes. We're going to leave Washington State right here at 21. We're going to move Arizona State right up here to 22. Illinois is going to slide back into the top 25. That's Oklahoma State. They are definitely not a top 25 team. We are going to move Memphis. Where is Memphis? Or somewhere around here. Tennessee, Memphis. Okay, we're going to slide Memphis up behind Illinois. And we're going to slide Tulane up behind Memphis. Okay, so this is my top 25. These guys are all sliding down here. Let me go ahead and finish out we've got a top 37 this week. If you're not in the top 37, you're completely irrelevant. That's not entirely true. Also, Florida's kind of turned it around too. Florida's not going to be in my top 37, but maybe they should be. Okay, so we've got Memphis right here. We're going to move Louisville to 26, Mizzou 27, Kansas State 28. We've got Pitt right there at 29, so I basically just slid all them down. Syracuse is going to move up here to 30. UNLV, where's UNLV at? UNLV is going to be right behind Syracuse. Duke's going to be right behind UNLV. Vandy, still relevant, not completely irrelevant. ULL, even though they took another loss, we are going to leave them knocking on the door. I mean, I don't think it's going to matter, but they're still relevant here to the conversation. LSU is going to move down to 36. Honestly, we can slide LSU, and we can put LSU above the Raging Cajuns. And then we will move Navy. Navy is going to be right here at 37. So if you're not in this top 37, your season is over. Obviously, you still have games to play, but you are not going to the playoffs. You will probably go to a bowl game or something. I don't know. That depends on your team. But these teams are the playoff teams. And really, to be honest, I think it's like Clemson and up. I don't think Iowa State has a chance. Iowa State would need to make the Big 12 championship, which would mean we need like 2 BYU losses or another BYU loss or another Colorado loss. I don't really see that happening. I guess it could happen, though. Kansas State could still also get into the Big 12 championship. As far as the ACC, it's Clemson, Miami, or SMU. So we'll see how that goes. But I think only one ACC team's getting in and probably one Big 12 team. And then we will get 4 Big 10 teams, and the 4 will be Indiana, Ohio State, Penn State, and Oregon. And the SEC will also get 4 teams. Texas, as long as Texas beats A&M, they're in. Alabama wins out, they're in. Georgia wins out, they're in. Now the last SEC team, that's kind of up for grabs. It'll probably be Ole Miss, though. Probably be Ole Miss because they've got wins over Alabama and Georgia. Those are 2 really good wins. Do they have wins? I'm pretty sure it's over Alabama and Georgia. Ole Miss football. And they definitely beat Georgia. No, maybe they haven't beaten Alabama, but they have beaten Georgia. They lost to Kentucky and LSU. Okay, my bad. I misspoke. They didn't even play Alabama. That's weird. Bring back divisions, except don't, but maybe do. I don't know. This year's been kind of clusterfucky with no divisions. Look at the Big Ten. I mean, these guys don't even all play each other. But they all play Ohio State. Ohio State's got a pretty rough schedule. Alrighty, so let's go take a look. This is my final top 25. We'll look at their matchups for next week here in just a second. Let's look at the AP top 25. I don't know why we're still doing this either, but I like looking at it. I like getting enraged. Okay, so we've got Oregon at number 1. We've got Ohio State number 2, Texas number 3. I can get down with all that. Penn State number 4, Indiana number 5. I still think he should rank Indiana above Penn State. Notre Dame 6, Alabama 7, Georgia 8, Ole Miss 9, Tennessee 10. Damn, Tennessee did not move down far enough. Miami 11, Boise State 12, finally making the top 12. I mean, Boise State should really be higher. SMU at 13. Yeah, they are totally, which I know this isn't the college football playoff rankings, but they're pretty similar. So we are totally setting up for one ACC team. And now that we've moved BYU out of the top 12 as well, then yes, you're only getting one Big 12 team. Okay, so... Oh, I didn't mean to click on that. So BYU at 14, A&M at 15, Colorado 17, Clemson 16, Army 18. I feel like that's super disrespectful. The AP does not love America or our armed forces, so fuck you, AP poll. South Carolina 19, Tulane at 20. They've got them a little higher than me. Arizona State 21, Iowa State at 21. Can Arizona State make the Big 12 championship? I guess they probably can. But I think both of their losses are conference losses, yeah. UNLV at 8-2 is 23. Illinois at 24, and Washington State at 25. So we both added, me and the AP both added Illinois, UNLV, and Arizona State. I'm telling you, there's really not many options here. I mean, you look down at it and you're like, okay, there's like, I got to move these teams out, and there's only these teams left to move in. So we really, I feel like this top 25, it may not be solid. You know, there's some bubble teams. But I think if you go down to like I have a top 37. If you go down there, like, yep, that's pretty much it. Everything after that is not playoff relevant. Even like 26 through 37 is not very playoff relevant. Like, I don't see Washington State. There's no path for them to make the playoffs now. They really needed to win out. But I think this has been this is a pretty good AP poll. So towards the end of the season, of course, we're all going to kind of come to a consensus on who should be going and who shouldn't. And nobody after the top 12 should really have any complaints, because it's basically like, guys, all you got to do was win out and you would have been in. But you didn't, so you're not. And there's still some teams just outside that could get in. If we got a few more upsets, maybe some of these teams could sneak in, but I doubt it. I really doubt it. Okay. Alrighty. Let's look at the ESPN college football scoreboard. Usually I look at this the night before and write them all down, so. But I didn't this week. All right, week 13. Right? November 18th through 24th. Yep, it's the 17th. Okay, none of these games matter. Let's go to... Is there not a way to sort by the top 25 on your computer? That's weird. Okay, Indiana versus Ohio State this week. Indiana, I want to say needs to win this, but honestly they don't. They could lose and still make the playoffs. So they would really like to win this to get to go to the Big Ten championship and maybe get a bye. Ole Miss at Florida, SMU at Virginia. That could be an upset possibility. Oklahoma, I know, plays Alabama, which Alabama should win that game. Texas versus Kentucky. How's Kentucky been? 4-6. Okay, I see. Texas should win that game. Georgia versus Massachusetts. Tennessee versus UTEP. They should both dominate. Arizona State at BYU. Okay, this is actually big time. Okay, I didn't realize. So Arizona State is going to fight for their chance to get in the Big 12 championship. If they can win here, and we've got Kansas at Colorado. Kansas has been getting real close to a bunch of upsets lately, and they pulled it off against BYU. So don't count them out again here against Colorado. I didn't realize this is actually a pretty good week for the Big 12. Texas Tech plays Oklahoma State. Doesn't really matter. Louisville plays Pitt. I might take Pitt in that game. I don't know. These two are close. South Carolina plays Wofford. That should be a South Carolina win. Missouri plays Mississippi State. Missouri should have no problem winning that. Army versus Notre Dame. Okay, so the biggest games of the week are Army and Notre Dame and Indiana and Ohio State. If Army can win this game, they should go to the playoffs. They should take Notre Dame's spot. I don't think that's a guarantee, though, with how the college football rankings may play out. But I think if Army wins out, they should be in. Boise State at Wyoming should be a win for Boise. Washington State at Oregon State. Alabama at Oklahoma. on ABC, huh? Let's hope Oklahoma can get our shit together. LSU versus Vandy, Kansas State versus Cincinnati. Have they not updated the rankings for these teams yet? They may be going off the college football playoff rankings right now. Duke at Virginia Tech. Okay, so 2 big matchups, and then everybody else is just kind of trying to avoid upsets. Although Arizona State versus BYU, that is now a top 25 matchup. And Kansas has been playing dangerous, so Colorado's got to keep an eye out. But it looks like a pretty good week of college football. This last week was a pretty good week. I mean, I kind of dug it. Bunch of upsets. And we'll see if the top 10 can stay alive this week. The top 10's been having a really rough time these past few weeks, so we'll hope they can turn it around. Actually, let's root for chaos. Let's hope they all lose, and then it's just a ginormous cluster when we're trying to get the playoff teams. But thank you guys all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the rankings. Let me know what your top 25 is down below, or if I missed or got any, if I missed anything big, or if I got everything right. Let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you guys all for watching. We'll catch you next week. We are going to do this after the conference championships. After that, once we get to the playoffs, I will not be updating my top 25s anymore. We'll probably do, I'm probably going to do like post-conference championship playoff thing. I don't know. We'll do something like that. But thank you guys all so much for watching. We'll catch you next time, and please like and subscribe.